Hi, True Crime Grapevine fans. It's me, Patty Lee, your host here on the True Crime Grapevine. This is episode 47, and it's case 1 of episode 47. Episode 47 is covering May 1st through the 14th, and we've got, I believe, 18 cases or 19 now that I'm going to be uploading one at a time. This is case 1. With each case, I'm going to be drinking a Moscow Mule. Fabulous. I even have the recipe included in case 3, if you'd like. So, case 1. So this is a case local to my general area. I'm in the Great Lakes area, and this case takes place in near Toledo, Ohio, in a suburb of Toledo called Sylvania Township. So there's like Sylvania City and Township. I think it's most of the states in the Great Lakes we have, that's how our state is organized, by municipalities, cities, and then outside municipalities are townships. There, a little geography lesson for you. Nicole Jones, 53, is missing. Now, when this story hit the airwaves, it started that Nicole Jones was listed as an endangered, a missing person who was considered to be in danger. And it wasn't very clear what was going on. Locally, the news station noticed that the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations, and I believe they have local units of those, like labs in certain places around Ohio and around like each state. There's a number of them. It's like SLED, but it's for Ohio. These are the forensic investigators that come out, and they're not usually in a town. So when you see them, unless the town that they exist as the educational and just lab facility, it's kind of a big deal. So the local news in Toledo noticed that at this location, at this house, there was a Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations van. What had happened then was Thursday, the local police came out and said, okay, we got a call from the Canton police, Canton, Ohio, which the Hall of Fame, the Football Hall of Fame you may have heard of. Canton is also known for being I believe, the city of rubber, making tires. Firestone was located there. Maybe still is. Canton police had called the Sylvania Township police and said, you need to do a wellness check at this address for this lady. So apparently somebody had said something to somebody in Canton that made them go to Sylvania. Well, what happened is, so this Nicole Jones has a son. Her son is Jonathon Jones, and Jonathon has gotten himself into some hot water in the past. He is 33. Now, so what I have on here is, hey, but he's not a suspect in his mom's death. This was the statement made Friday. The police, they said that the information that they had gathered in their search led them to believe that, yes, Nicole Jones was probably deceased. But they don't know where her body is. So, who is her son? Or, excuse me, this is her house. I don't know if you can see my presentation screen so great. Sorry, guys. This is her house over here. It is on the 7,000 block of Timber Edge Boulevard. It kind of, I don't know if it's a house or a condo. It kind of looks like condos to me. It may be a house. She was so on Wednesday afternoon. So my little notes are screwing me up a little bit because the news told us this woman was missing, and this is the picture of the OB, the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations is here at her house. So that was what the police, the media saw and became alerted Wednesday. So what we know is that her Buick Encore was missing. Her car was last seen in Arizona and then was found in Mexico with her son. Her son was traveling with a 17-year-old, which you'll see. So she was an endangered girl. She had been missing from her house, traveling with Miss Nicole Jones' son, who is 33. So let's do the math. He's 33, she's 17. If you know anything about most state laws in the U.S., let's have a drink, because that's concerning. So if you're triggered at all by child crimes, you might want to skip this episode. Or not the whole episode, but this case. So, and it is Mother's Day as I am recording. This is very sad. Here's Jonathon Jones. Jonathon Jones, 33. Yes, he left Ohio sometime, I believe it was now May 5th. And I'll tell you why we know it was May 5th. With this Caitlin. Miss Caitlin was reported missing. I guess she was missing since April 11th, and this makes more sense. I looked into the story a little bit. Was missing since April 11th, reported missing a week later by her parents. Now, Jonathon, again, 33, and Caitlin, 17. Not a relationship that is legal. He had, might not shock us, a bench warrant that was issued April 21st for violating the terms of his electronic monitoring system. He probably left his area, which was Wood County. So Sylvania Township is in Lucas County, the county above that. So he probably could go within a certain radius. Maybe he was allowed to go to his mom's house, but he seemed to have left the area. So his electronic monitoring system went out. What was he being monitored for, you ask? Well, maybe by the company he keeps, you can guess that it was for something inappropriate with children. In fact, he had a failure. Then he had a nationwide failure to appear because he was supposed to be sentenced for 2 crimes that he had pled guilty to in March from a 2022 charge of pandering obscene material and child endangerment. So I looked up the Ohio law about pandering obscene material, and it has to do with either consuming, transmitting, creating, or directing, let's just say, obscene material. Now the child endangerment part, I couldn't tell if that was an enhancement. I think it might be an enhancement charge, meaning children were involved in this material. So, yes, Jonathon Jones, allegedly, and in my opinion, so this is just my opinion and speculation, right? Because everybody's innocent until proven guilty, but maybe he'd like to be friends with Josh Duggar, it sounds like, from these charges. I don't know. Maybe. Just my opinion. So Jonathon is with Caitlin. She's missing since April 11th. She's reported missing since the 18th. He has a bench warrant issued the 21st because he fails to appear on May 4th, which is 2 weeks later. He was supposed to go to court May 4th for this pandering with child endangerment charges. Nice guy, right? I'd tell you to be on the lookout for him, but he has been found. So here is 17-year-old Caitlin. She was endangered solely, I believe, by her age, and they knew she was with an adult male, and the adult male was known to have crimes involving children, against children, so a predator. And he had pled guilty, so that is not alleged. He pled guilty to those crimes. So that's what made her endangered. And again, she was missing since April 11th, reported by her parents the 18th. She was found alive. So what had happened was, I believe they were captured by the U.S. Marshals this past Monday. She was brought to back to Ohio, and the Canton police contacted the Sylvania Township Police Tuesday, and they did the wellness check, and then by Wednesday, the Ohio Department of Bureau of Criminal Investigations was there. Okay, so does that help? So they get down to Arizona and are seen in Mom's, Nicole Jones, Buick. Nicole Jones is not seen, just Caitlin and Jonathon. They leave the Arizona area in which they were spotted. They go over the border into Mexico, and yes, the city is like Amada, but the way the geopolitical organization of Mexico, and we've had a couple cases now that have ended up in Mexico. And again, when we go outside the United States, it goes from FBI and police, usually sheriffs, county police we hear a lot about. It goes from that law enforcement to the U.S. Marshals, because they're the people that are the U.S. police, but outside the country. So follow me here. They go to Chihuahua, Mexico. Chihuahua is like the state within the country of Mexico, and there's an area in it. They found the pair in Nicole's Buick Encore, and this is not the exact car, but it is a Buick Encore. And actually, I don't know if they show the exact car, but it looks a lot like it, so that might be similar. That is a Buick Encore, not hers. So this is the sad history. Caitlin ran away. I started looking for exactly the 11th and the 18th. Sort of confused me, like, wait a minute, which was it? It makes more sense knowing her history. So there were articles pulled up with her name that she had been missing, like as a 14-year-old, as a 15-year-old. She went missing. I have 2022, but it was 2023 earlier this year, right before this, and now. I do not know if all of these or any of them have to do with Jonathon or other people, right? I don't know. Records of juveniles are sealed. I only know she was missing because there was a lot of social media. She was gone long enough that people had to declare her missing and made posters and was on Twitter. I mean, so obviously there's something going on there, right? So they were found in the municipality of Ahumada and in the state of Chihuahua, Mexico. And that's where the Chihuahua dogs are from. So I wouldn't know how to say that, except obviously I've heard of Chihuahuas. So if you can see up here, this is Arizona. This is the municipality within Chihuahua this is Ahumada. I'm probably not saying that at all right. And then I made little dots here if you can see. So it's just really not very far over the border into, this is the whole state of Chihuahua. And so I put a little dot here where the municipality is. So not too far over the border, but they did have to go chase them into, so then he took a underage girl out of state when he was supposed to be in court. Not only out of state, out of country. I don't know how he got her over the border. So this is the sad story. And if you've watched my channel before, you might know I have an educational psychology background, which means I study typical development, but it also involves atypical, because if you study how people are normally developed, you also then understand non-typical development, and also family structures. That's a lot of, we take classes in family development and parenting and leadership classes. I don't know what is going on with Miss Caitlin, but again, she has a history of running away. She was listed as missing at least 3 times before this event, and in the first event that I found listed publicly, it was from, you can see here, and she's such a cutie. But something is going on. The community was asked in Solon, which is a suburb around Cleveland, Akron area in northeast Ohio, to be on the lookout for this 14-year-old girl. This was December 4th, so right before Christmas, 2020, right before the pandemic started. Then it says in the bottom of it, according to police, she has run away before, and that she mentioned she was in Solon to somebody. So something's going on in this girl's life. It happened before. I mean, it's scary to leave home and to be gone long enough. And then she was gone again. There was another missing poster and a news report that she was missing February 19th of 2021 when she was 15 years old. And then again in 2023, February 13th, and then there was a found. She was gone about a month. She was found, I think, February 23rd. So now this is April and she's gone again. So I don't know. And again, the court documents would be sealed in this case. What's available. But so something is going on with this 17-year-old. And we have a horrible update. So besides the fact that between Friday morning on the news locally and then by the evening at 7 o'clock on by Saturday, then they had gone from they were worried about this missing woman to she is dead to a 17-year-old juvenile, or excuse me, they didn't say 17-year-old. They said a juvenile was charged in the Lucas County, which is where Sylvania Township is. That's the township's county. So if you watch true crime, we always hear the sheriff and the county because that's the first place you get charged. Like how Lori Vallow was from Fremont County, but she was housed in Madison because they didn't have a female jail. But where your crime's committed, the county is where you're going to be prosecuted at that level. So Sylvania Township is in Lucas County. And Saturday night at right about 7 o'clock, they said that an unnamed juvenile suspect related to the Nicole Jones, because by then they said she had died, that she was, that's the mother of the fugitive. So I'm putting it together as I'm writing this. I'm like, okay, obviously the unnamed juvenile was probably the juvenile that was with the son who took the car that they were in, right? And then 19 News out of Cleveland reported that the Sylvania Township Police Chief Paul Long, that he did confirm that Nicole Jones was the victim of a May 5th homicide after the Canton Police Department requested a welfare check. So now we have a date of May 5th. How do we know she was killed May 5th? Well, and then it was reported that the Canton juvenile a Canton juvenile was charged with the murder of the mother of a fugitive arrested in Mexico with the missing Ohio girl. I mean, so May 5th, if we go back to that timeline, that must be when they got the car. Maybe he went to Cleveland, he picked up the girl. Where was he staying with the girl? What did his mom know? Did he have his mom somehow trapped in her house? We don't know where between April 11th and May 5th. But what seems clear is that they got the car, and when they caught them in Mexico on Monday, Tuesday they take her back. She must have told to save her own skin, which why wouldn't she? I would do the same thing. I don't think anybody would. That's how they know the date, I would assume, because she's talking. Of course, we don't know that because and a lot of this will probably be sealed because she's a juvenile. I don't know. But sometimes with murder, as you know, people are prosecuted as adults even though they're underage. So maybe we'll hear more about this. The body has still the remains as of Mother's Day. So this is a horrible mother story, right? Because she was missing. She was a missing mom. And now she's a murdered mom. And it's horrific that she was murdered, most likely, it appears, allegedly, at the hands of her son, right? Horrible. The week before, literally, on Cinco de Mayo. I don't know if alcohol was involved. I mean, this is just horrific. So, that's what we know about that case. Case 1. I can't say if you liked that because I can't, I mean, you know, if you've poured yourself a Moscow Mule or any drink of choice, even non-alcoholic, please take a sip. Like this video, that would be great. Stick around. I'm going to be doing a lot of cases for this episode so you can catch the next one. I really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.